located in Los Angeles. We specialize in providing in-home lessons for students that are interested in learning piano, voice, violin, guitar, cello, the ukulele, drums, woodwinds, brass instruments, and we even teach lessons related to songwriting, music production, and music theory. So the reason why I'm here today is because I get a lot of questions from parents of prospective students and also adult students that are interested in taking lessons. So one of the questions I get is parents of children that are interested in taking lessons, and also prospective adult students are interested in learning what kind of styles of music can be taught to a student. So essentially, let's just focus on young kids, or just kids in general. Kids do very well with songs that they're familiar with. So if, for example, when I teach a trial lesson, I usually always end up leaving the lesson having taught them either Mary Had a Little Lamb or Old MacDonald. So again, songs that they're familiar with, that they enjoy listening to, are always a good things to start with. As students get a little bit more adept at playing different rhythms and being able to read more complex musical passages, they may actually do very well with learning pop songs, because pop songs have a certain kind of rhythmic structure that once they understand the rhythm, they'll be able to play quite a lot of different pop music pieces, because the rhythms are generally kind of follow certain patterns. Jazz is a little bit more complex. I would say that some jazz scales can be taught just by ear, but to understand jazz music theory is a whole other world that most teachers are very cognizant of the fact that jazz is a much different, is a whole different other animal. So learning jazz would be something that would be, I think, a little bit more appropriate for a student that has a really good understanding of Western music and would be able to build upon the things that they already know, understanding notation really well, understanding how to read music. Then they'd be able to build upon that by learning very specific jazz scales and the jazz theory, which is a little bit different from Western music theory. So again, it can depend on the preference, but students tend to do well learning a lot of different types of classical music. And when I say classical music, there's all different types of classical music from different eras that they could focus on. A lot of times is the actual classical music that students do really well with. They may do really well with Baroque music. When they get to be a little bit more advanced, they might do very well and really enjoy like the Romantic era of music, like Chopin. So really there are so many different things that have been written for the piano that, generally speaking, as long as they have a very solid understanding of music notation, know how to read music well, they're going to be able to play a lot of different styles of music. And some of the things that are actually probably the most appealing to students are pop songs, because they're something that they have learned to be accustomed to because they hear things on the radio all the time. So again, different styles of music, it has to do with different preferences, some of their background, how far along they've gotten in their notation and their music reading abilities. And really it just comes down to a preference and what students want to learn. So again, my name is Marianthe Bezarides, and I'm the owner of Piano Teacher Girl, and if you're interested in learning